All right, I call the Stigler Board of Education special meeting for Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026 to order. Roll call will be Jennifer Turner, Brett Orm, Kenny Whitson, Carly Stubblefield, and David Huggins. At this time, we'll have Pledge of Allegiance and a prayer like Mr. Kenny Whitson.
Bow your heads, please. Father in heaven, we love you, Lord, and we thank you so much for what you've done for us. We ask, Father, that you give us wisdom, insight, give us peace, Father, in all of the decisions that we have to make. Guide us and give us strength, Father. In your wonderful name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Heart salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Kenny. Okay, item 3, the board take action on employment of Stephen H. McDonald and Associates Incorporated as financial consultant to the school district.
Okay, we've used Stephen H. McDonald in several of our past projects, and they've done a great job preparing an accurate analysis of our financial situation and providing accurate predictions, and I would recommend we use their services for this project.
And do we know how much, or
It's a percentage based on the bond, and so from the 2.9 that we're looking at, it'd be $34,250, and of course our fee is only based on it passing.
sounds good to me. What was that percent again? Just a minute.
It's 1 3/4% for the first 400,000, then 1% after that, with a cost of issuance of $2,250. Basically, that 400 is our minimum fee, and then everything above it goes to 1%.
I make a motion, we approve Stephen H. McDonald Associates as financial consultant to the school district.
I'll second.
Motion by Brett to employ Stephen H. McDonald and Associates as financial consultant to the school district, seconded by Jennifer. Brett?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
Carly?
Yes.
David, yes. Item 4, board to consider and take action on resolution authorizing the calling and holding of a special election to be held in the school district to authorize the issuance of a general obligation bonds.
Okay, we have J.C. McDonald with us this evening. He's worked with us in the past, and he's going to provide an overview of the resolution and then answer any questions we might have.
Okay, so first part, let's go over the projected tax increase. It's a little tax chart right here. And so what we're proposing is a 10-year November dated bond, 2026, $2,900,000. It's going to bump that millage, the sinking fund millage, which is currently at 0, up to projected 8.47, which equates to about 11% increase. And so what we'll provide you with some cards there on the right, but how the 11% increase equates to that is, so for every $100 you pay in property taxes, you're looking at $11 more, or for every $1,000 you pay in property taxes, you're looking at $110 more, $9.17 more per month. Another way to look at that chart, if somebody asks you, hey, what's this going to cost me? Politely just ask them, what did you pay in property taxes last year? They know exactly what they can even look it up online. If they paid $500, they'd be looking at paying $55 more when that goes in the books. You won't see this tax increase because we'll be in a different fiscal year, school fiscal year. You won't see this till 2027 when you get your tax bill. It wouldn't go on when you see your bill in December of 26. And it's just straight in there, a single issue. We issue the 2.9, goes in your bond fund, and that's what you have to spend on the projects. Any questions on that?
Pretty easy to understand.
Okay. Next part, and I'll go over the resolution part, and you guys can discuss projects and all that, but if you'll go with me to the second page on this resolution.
You can ask one question, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Well, my train's running a little slower sometimes.
Okay.
Okay, so how did we get to 10 years would be my first question. Why not 5, why not 15,
Well, working with Dr. Kettles,
Yeah.
and then we looked at different projections, and based off what the numbers that you got from your other professionals, this is the number you guys came through with your construction manager and your architect and all that. And then I think we wanted to spread it out the longest we could, the lowest tax increase. And that's why we're doing it over that 10 years. Obviously, if you shorten it, that's going to go up because you're going to pay more in principal and interest back per year.
Okay.
And that's kind of based on the parameters we work with the district on that side of it.
Okay.
And is that still projected on our $43 million assessed value, or do you know?
Correct.
It is.
So basically how we run these is we look at your valuation, which is $45,732,499.
Come up some, okay, yeah.
And then we run our maturity schedules, and that kind of shows you with the principal plus the projected interest rate on there of what that millage would come out to, and that's how we get that tax increase.
Okay.
And like if you look at all of our past, like our past ones, if you go back and look at the projected increase, we're conservative on all our stuff.
Yeah.
We'd actually would have been it would have been higher and would have been actually a little bit lower than what we projected, but that's why we want conservative, so there's no surprises.
Okay.
And this is your basic single issue, not where we're at the series
Right.
bonds with all the different layers. And I mean, this is single bond issue, we vote it, that's the fund you get on it.
Yeah.
And then we pay it down.
Yeah, it's not based on series for 20 years.
No.
and all that, yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So you guys want to go over the resolution now? If you will turn with me to that second page, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read out, go through a few sections real quick. So section 1, it's there at the top, that a special election is hereby called in said school district be held on the 25th day of August 2026 for the purpose of submitting to the registered qualified electors of such school district the following proposition. Proposition in that paragraph I'm about to read will be the actual ballot question you will see when you go to vote the polls with yes or no underneath it. Shall Independent School District Number 20 of Haskell County, Oklahoma incur indebtedness by issuance bonds in the sum of $2,900,000 to provide funds for the purpose of repairing and resurfacing the track, constructing and equipping an elementary physical education gym, constructing, equipping, repairing, and remodeling school buildings, acquiring school furniture, fixtures, and equipment, and acquiring and improving school sites, and levying and collecting annual tax in addition to all other taxes upon all the taxable property in such district sufficient to pay the interest on such bonds as it falls due, and also to constitute a sinking fund for the payment of the principal thereof when due. Said bonds to bear interest not to exceed the rate of 10% per annum payable semi-annually and become due serially within 10 years from their date. Note on that question, because we do get this asked a lot, that last sentence there, what's it's talking about where it says said bonds to bear interest not to exceed the rate of 10% per annum. What's that stating is we can't go to market to sell your bonds till it's been approved by the voters. We then will go through a competitive sale. You guys will open those bids up. If we were to get rates above 10%, null and void, we'd have to go back in the market. They have a cap on there they did several years back. I think it was in the 60s that they did that. Right now, rates, taxables, tax exempt bonds are anywhere from 3 and a 4, and I've got in like a 385 projected on that. So that's something we won't know. And then obviously where it says semi-annually become due serially within 10 years from their date, it's a 10-year bond, so we'll pay that back within 10 years from the date of issuance. Any other questions on that?
I mean, just a little confusion for me is like on this sheet, you got 11%. I'm getting messed up between 11% and this 10%.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the taxes at all. What it has to do is the interest rate on the bonds we sell.
Okay.
None of that proposition language talks about tax increase. Because basically what you're asking for is for us to issue bonds for a purpose. The 11% is what we're saying, that's what it's going to cost the tax patrons if this is approved by the voters when it goes in the tax rolls. This has to do with the 10%, has to do with the bond interest rate.
Okay.
And you said that was 385 is what you?
That's what we're kind of projecting right now, yeah. And that's above what we've been getting. We've been in the 3 to 3.5. It just kind of depends on the issue, the size of the issue. Obviously, when we sell those, we send it out to all the financial institutions plus your local banks. And then usually bids are due. Bids come in, and then you guys open those bids up, and by law, you have to take it the lowest interest rate only because it's basically interest only on this
Yeah.
portion of it. Yeah, that can get confusing because 10 and 11 is close, but that doesn't have to do with the tax increase. That's having to do with that you cannot exceed that 10%. And that's on every standard question that you guys vote. And then going down to section 4, which is basically the project language portion of that ballot, but this portion will not be on the ballot, just that question. Section 4 reads that the specific projects which at least 85% of the proceeds of the aforesaid bonds shall be expended, and the dollar amounts for each project shall be as follows. To repair and resurface the track, $500,000. To construct and equip an elementary physical education gym for $2,400,000 for a total of $2,900,000.
And are those numbers pretty firm? I mean, so what if the track comes in at 550,000 and the gym comes in at 2.35?
Building fund.
Building fund.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly it'd probably be a little bit more than some of that. But that's why we have our building fund.
Okay.
This is
And
what-
So, because I know when we went through this with Mr. Morgan, the track was more than 500,000 if I recall.
It was, I think it was, the bid was, lowest bid was 520. And it'll be more than that. I mean, it will, but that's why we have our building fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much would it cost to put that turf on there like Photo has?
About $1 million.
Oh, gosh.
Now, we would put the Choctaw Nation seat, whatever we wanted.
Both ends.
You gotta be careful what you wish for. You know, and for me, it's like, you know, like the 10, and I'm not saying I'm against the 10 years, because I don't know what the number is. You know, it's like, I personally desperately want this to pass. We desperately need to start getting some of this stuff done here, and that's a critical number, at least in my mind, because, I mean, obviously you extend it out, well, it doesn't cost as much. I mean, it didn't cost as much each year, but overall, it costs way more. You know, I mean, it's like versus you shorten it up, then you're paying more now, you know, as opposed to later. And I'm just curious if that's everybody. I guess y'all do believe that's the optimal number.
Well, there's a point to where you start going further out on these bonds, like a 15-year or something like that. You get to the point where your interest rate goes up even higher to where it's costing you more than
Yeah, I
to a
know.
point. So that's
I
kind of
get
how
it.
we sell those. So
I get it. It's just.
And if it was shorter, it'd be so much higher right now, I don't think.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
You don't think it would pass if
Right.
if the taxes for the people was higher?
Yeah.
So y'all are comfortable that is the optimal number, because that, to me, that's a big number.
Yeah.
And of course, if I say that, it's probably different for everybody, so it's hard to pick the right number.
These numbers seem pretty like reasonable to
That's what I
sell
think.
to the.
Without being too much one way or the other. And it gets it done in 10 years where it's
Yeah.
done, you know?
And if, yeah, I mean, I think it's, yeah, going over my taxes they're gonna go up, but, I mean, it's not gonna be astronomical to where you go, oh, I'm gonna have to, you know, so, yeah.
And we think the 2.9 is a better option.
I do, yeah, because we can cover any overages or, yeah. And still get a good building.
And that finishes our grade school though.
Pretty much except for the roofs, but we can do all that, yeah. And then some remodeling, but
Yeah,
that gets them out of the portable.
the cafeteria will be strictly cafeteria then.
Right, right.
That'll be good for it, you know, just.
Yeah, because we have so much, you know, there's required PE time, there's
Yeah.
required, I mean, it's hard to get, and if we get that remodel we're working on now done, move the kindergarten down there, well, you're gonna be trying to feed 450, 500 kids every day, and do PE.
Then they're raising you gotta have all that stuff raised and lowered. And
Right, up tables up,
they're having
down,
to
cleaned
move
up,
everything out of the way, and you're trying to clean that all up, and
get them in there.
trying to work in there with all that. And this way, it's just strictly cafeteria.
Right.
Cafeteria is set up nice, and you.
And we're, you know, they're talking about doubling our required PE time. It'd been hard to do, I mean.
Yeah, it's
especially
impossible.
a cold or rainy day, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Well, and the gym is gonna be so much more convenient. It's just gonna be, you get that, what we've got going on now, they're done, that all tied together.
Mm-hmm.
The gymnasium out the other end tied together with that. And yeah, it's just gonna be,
I think it'll be nice,
it'll be really nice. And it'll be
safe,
efficient, safe, and just a positive environment for our kids.
right.
With the track out, like if we do the track and then like later on we're in the position to do the field, is that something like we can do without messing up the
Yeah.
track?
Be a little hard to get up, but yeah, they can do it.
So when you're here in 10 years, we'll be ready that.
10 years, we'll want the day.
Yeah.
And we're all gone.
Yeah.
Didn't they have to do that in Chicago where they put the little bridge over? I mean,
They
there's
do.
certain ways.
They can do it, right.
The track is the most important.
Yeah. Track, for sure.
I think it'll help us. I think it'll help us pass this. I mean,
The track, I think the
Yeah.
track will be the selling.
It's
I think
point.
important.
I think
It's
it will.
If we can get track meets here, bring
Yeah.
people here for businesses and
Yeah.
things going on here, I mean, it's more than just a track. I mean, it's gonna bring the community together. And there's a whole lot that I think that track brings.
Yeah.
You know.
And the gym will too. But
Yeah, the
but the
gym.
track has been talked about so much, and And to think that people think we're going to get it fixed, I think they're going to be. We hope so anyway.
Maybe we get you out there running, you do all your running out
I don't know
there.
about that. I'm probably the one that wore it out.
Yeah.
And the 2.4 on the gym is like just like the most basic gym we can go.
Well, it's a pretty good, we had our scout actually went through and did a projection, he thinks he can do it, basically what was for that. Yeah, it'll be a nice building, it'll be nice.
Well, because then we talked
Yeah, I mean, we
before
can
the
do
meeting,
lots
like,
of stuff.
you know, we hold, maybe tournaments and what concession stands. I mean, I don't, not super bare minimum, but, we need to,
Didn't have staging.
it needs to be.
Have a stage up there for all of their, their programs and stuff, we had to schedule our programs, go around lunch.
Yeah.
It's, we pull out bleachers where more people can be there, and,
Yeah, that's just my thing, is like, I want to do it, but not like be like bowing down, we're gonna do the very bare minimum, just that,
It'll be nice.
Something that's gonna be functional, we can use for a
Yeah.
long time.
It'll match a lot of our current building,
Yeah.
kind of is the plan.
For motion,
I'm ready.
is that what you're waiting on?
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve authorizing the calling and holding the special election to be held in the school district, authorize the issuance of general obligation bonds.
Second.
All right, motion by Brett to approve the authorizing and the calling of and holding of a special election to be held in the school district to authorize the issuance of a general election bond. Seconded by Kenny. Brett,
Yes.
Kenny,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Carly,
Yes.
and David, yes.
We done? Make most to adjourn?
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny to adjourn, seconded by Jennifer at 6:17 p.m. Kenny,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
Carly,
Yes.
and David, yes.